Hey, I'm Ryan Reynolds. At Mint Mobile, we like to do the opposite of what Big Wireless does. They charge you a lot, we charge you a little. So naturally, when they announced they'd be raising their prices due to inflation, we decided to deflate our prices due to not hating you. That's right. We're cutting the price of Mint Unlimited from $30 a month to just $15 a month. Give it a try at mintmobile.com/switch.
$45 up front for 3 months plus taxes and fees. Promo rate for new customers for limited time. Unlimited more than 40 gigabytes per month. Slows full terms at mintmobile.com.
On today's Smart 7, Northern Ireland on the brink of history, IMF warns against tax cuts and much more. It's Wednesday 31st of January, it's Hot Chocolate Day and happy birthday Justin Timberlake.
The Smart 7. It's news, but not the news.
There was a breakthrough in Northern Ireland after 2 years of deadlock on Tuesday as the Democratic Unionist Party finally endorsed a deal offered by the UK government that would see a return to power sharing in the north. Northern Ireland Secretary Chris Heaton-Harris, who has put a package worth £3 billion on the table, sounded relieved that there had finally been some positive progress.
I'm pleased that the DUP have agreed to accept the package of measures that the UK government has put forward, and as a result they are ready to return to the Northern Ireland Assembly and nominate representatives to the Northern Ireland Executive.
The DUP's decision to accept the deal sees an end to 2 years of stalemate, but DUP leader Sir Geoffrey Donaldson was keen to emphasise the positives about improved trade and the removal of restrictions on movement.
And those who were predicting all kinds of outcomes, that things would fall short, well, I simply have asked people to wait and see the outcome.
Things will now move quickly, with legislation expected to move through the Commons on Thursday so that the Northern Ireland Assembly could potentially sit at the weekend. That will be an historic day for Sinn Féin and their leader in the north, Michelle O'Neill, who will take the role of First Minister. She says it's time to finally see power sharing in action.
They're going to prove us wrong and come in and nominate alongside a Sinn Féin First Minister. I welcome that. That's exactly where we all should be. This is what goes to the heart of the Good Friday Agreement.
As we move closer to a general election, it's become clear that Prime Minister Rishi Sunak and Chancellor Jeremy Hunt are hoping a tax-cutting budget will win over voters. But those plans took a hit on Tuesday as the International Monetary Fund weighed in on the UK economy and cautioned against any further tax cuts. They're downgrading growth expectations for 2025 from 2% to 1.6%, and IMF chief economist Pierre-Olivier Gourinchas had some very specific advice for the Chancellor.
In the case of the UK, you might think of spending on healthcare and modernising the NHS. Spending on social care, on education. You might think about critical public investment to address the climate transition, but also to boost growth.
Labour's Shadow Chief Secretary Darren Jones was quick to respond, describing the intervention as yet more evidence of 14 years of Conservative economic failure. And even former Attorney General Dominic Grieve thinks that the clock has run out on Rishi's government, and it doesn't sound like he's forgiven Boris either.
Conservatives since 2019 have delivered extraordinarily bad government. Firstly, they put their faith in a charlatan, a pathological liar who showed by his actions over his period in office that he was completely unfit to lead the country. So that's bound to have dented public confidence in the Conservative brand.
US President Joe Biden said on Tuesday that he has decided who is to blame for the attack that killed 3 US troops at the weekend and that he will take action. But he says he doesn't want to see a wider war in the Middle East, as Qatar, Egypt and Western allies have been working to develop a new framework deal for hostage releases. Meanwhile, US Secretary of State Anthony Blinken weighed in on the dispute over the UN's Palestinian Refugee Agency known as UNRWA. 10 Western countries have threatened to suspend donations to the agency following accusations by Israel that some UNRWA staff were involved in the October 7th attacks.
We're going to be looking very hard at the steps that UNRWA takes to make sure that this is fully and thoroughly investigated, that there's clear accountability so that this doesn't happen again, assuming the allegations are fully borne out.
Pakistan's former Prime Minister and former cricket captain Imran Khan was jailed for 10 years on Tuesday. He's accused of leaking state secrets in what became known as the Cypher case, but he's already in jail, serving a 3-year sentence after being convicted for corruption in August of last year. It comes just the week before Pakistan is due to hold general elections, which Khan is banned from standing in. He's called for his supporters to take revenge with their votes, and his former assistant and spokesman Roaf Hassan says there's no truth in any of the charges.
Khan has not committed any of the crimes that he's alleged to have committed. while those people, are established crooks and criminals. So there's no comparison here.
Still to come on today's Smart 7, Arsenal and Newcastle get wins on the road and James Corden is back already. Right after this.
Hey, I'm Ryan Reynolds. At Mint Mobile, we like to do the opposite of what Big Wireless does. They charge you a lot, we charge you a little. So naturally, when they announced they'd be raising their prices due to inflation, we decided to deflate our prices due to not hating you. That's right. We're cutting the price of Mint Unlimited from $30 a month to just $15 a month. Give it a try at mintmobile.com/switch.
$45 up front for 3 months plus taxes and fees. Promo rate for new customers for limited time. Unlimited more than 40 gigabytes per month. Slows full terms at mintmobile.com.
Welcome back.
The Premier League was back in action with 5 games on Tuesday night. Everton and Fulham played out a goalless draw, Crystal Palace beat Sheffield United 3-2, Luton climbed out of the relegation zone with a 4-0 win over Brighton, and Newcastle got a 3-1 win at Aston Villa, which reverses a recent poor run of form for Eddie Howe's side. Arsenal also got an away win at Nottingham Forest, which sees them climb up to second, 2 points behind Liverpool, who faced Chelsea this evening. Mikel Arteta was pleased at how his team handled the away game.
Yes, to get some momentum. Obviously, we were really good against Palace. We won after the break, and today we wanted to generate that momentum, and we've done it. I think we had a really strong performance. We were really dominant. We had to be very patient, but at the same time we need to keep having the intention to hurt them all the time and don't start to be complacent.
It may seem like the blink of an eye, but James Corden has been off our screens for 9 months already. He wrapped up his late-night chat show in the US in April of last year, and well, he's been chilling out pretty much ever since. But now he's back, and he's got a new podcast/Sirius XM radio show to talk about. It's called This Life of Mine, and it's kind of like Desert Island Discs, except with random objects. Each week, a guest brings in an item that's shaped their life, and his first guest in the teaser is the man who lost a battle with a snowplow, Jeremy Renner.
What is the possession that you want to talk about on the show?
Titanium.
Which titanium specifically?
It's the 15-20% of my body at this point, and it will be with me forever.
These are titanium implants that are in your body?
Correct, a bunch of them, yeah. Recovery was like a one-way road.
If you Google Henry Cavill comedies, you won't get a lot of results. The man famous for playing Superman and The Witcher hasn't been a big fan of comic roles up until recently. Now he's starring in The Slightly Odd Argylle, and he's about to star in a new Guy Ritchie World War II action movie based on a true story called The Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare. It looks like it's more Ocean's 11 than Band of Brothers, and Henry seems to be having a lot of fun. It hits cinemas on April 19th.
We're losing the war. Hitler's not playing by the rules, so neither are we.
We both know that I'm not very popular with the administration.
The reason they find you unattractive is the very reason I find you attractive.
You've been listening to The Smart 7. We'll be back tomorrow at 7 a.m. Hit that follow button and have a great day. Give us 7 minutes and we'll give you the world.
Get the best workout with the best-kept secret in fitness. Hydro, the state-of-the-art at-home rower. Hydro engages 86% of your muscles, delivering the ultimate full-body workout in just 20 minutes. From advanced to beginner, Hydro has over 4,000 classes that are shot all over the world and are taught by Olympians and world-class athletes. For a 30-day risk-free trial with free standard shipping, go to hydro.com and use code ROW500 to save up to $500. That's HYDROW.com, code ROW500.